What if I told you that one of the most powerful tools for creating a vibrant living garden isn't a modern fertilizer, but an ancient secret hidden right beneath our feet? Imagine a simple, dark, and crumbly material that can awaken the life in your soil almost overnight. For thousands of years, our ancestors knew something we are only just rediscovering. They understood that the key to a flourishing garden lies not in feeding the plants directly, but in nurturing the countless invisible allies that live in the earth. This forgotten technique, using a form of charcoal, turns poor, lifeless ground into a thriving, microbe-rich ecosystem, and it's a method you can use today. It all begins with a fascinating glimpse into our distant past. Recent discoveries in ancient caves like the Inonu Cave in Turkey have shed new light on how our predecessors lived. Archaeologists, digging through layers of soil thousands of years old, found something remarkable. These ancient people were not just surviving, they were actively managing their environment. They used charcoal, produced from their fires, for all sorts of purposes, including, it seems, influencing the very soil they lived upon. This wasn't just a happy accident, it was an intuitive understanding of the earth that we have largely forgotten in our rush for chemical solutions and quick fixes. This ancient wisdom is now being validated by modern science. The soil samples from these caves, dating back 5,000 years, tell a story of a surprisingly complex microbial world. Scientists found that the presence of charcoal particles correlated with a rich diversity of beneficial bacteria. These are the very same types of microbes that healthy gardens depend on to break down nutrients, fight off disease, and create a robust soil structure. It suggests that ancient people, perhaps unintentionally at first, were creating a form of super soil, simply by incorporating the remnants of their fires back into the earth, laying the groundwork for a technique we can learn from today. This connection between the past and present is what makes gardening so wonderfully profound. We are not just tending to plants, we are participating in a timeless cycle of growth and renewal. The simple act of adding charcoal to your soil connects you to generations of growers who understood the land in a deep, fundamental way. It's a return to a more natural, holistic approach where we work with nature rather than against it. By embracing this ancient secret, we can unlock the full potential of our gardens and create a legacy of healthy, living soil for the future. So how does this humble black material work its magic? The secret lies in its incredible structure. When you look at a piece of charcoal under a microscope, it's not a solid lump. Instead, it's a honeycomb of tiny pores and tunnels, creating a vast internal surface area. Think of it as a luxury high-rise apartment complex for microorganisms. In a normal patch of soil, microbes can be washed away by rain or struggle to find a safe haven. But when you add charcoal to the mix, you are providing them with millions of microscopic homes where they can anchor themselves, protected from the elements and predators. This physical structure does more than just provide shelter. The porous nature of charcoal makes it act like a sponge, holding onto water and essential nutrients that would otherwise drain away. In times of heavy rain, the charcoal absorbs the excess moisture, preventing your soil from becoming waterlogged. Then, as the soil begins to dry out, it slowly releases that stored water back to the plant roots, acting as a natural reservoir. This creates a much more stable and resilient environment, reducing the stress on your plants during periods of drought or inconsistent watering and ensuring the microbes have the moisture they need to thrive. Recent scientific breakthroughs are helping us understand just how vast this microbial world is. Using new technologies, researchers have found that a single teaspoon of healthy soil can contain thousands of different species of bacteria, many of which were completely unknown to science until now. This incredible biodiversity is the engine of a healthy garden. These microbes are the tireless workers that media group, compost being added to garden soil, gardener mixing organic matter into soil, close-up of earthworms and decomposing leaves in soil, add at stock at distribute_equally, convert organic matter into plant-available food, protect roots from pathogens, and improve the soil's structure. By adding charcoal, you are essentially rolling out the welcome mat for this diverse and beneficial community to move in and get to work. Ultimately, the power of charcoal is its ability to create the perfect habitat for life to flourish. It isn't a fertilizer in the traditional sense. It doesn't contain a high concentration of nitrogen or potassium. Instead, its role is far more fundamental. It is a soil conditioner, a permanent improvement to the physical structure of your earth. It builds a long-lasting framework that supports and sustains the complex web of microbial life. This is the key to moving away from a cycle of constant feeding and towards a self-sustaining, resilient garden ecosystem that grows stronger and healthier each year. Bringing this ancient technique into your own garden is wonderfully straightforward. You don't need a laboratory or complicated equipment, just a sack of the right kind of charcoal and a watering can. The best type to use is often sold as biochar, or horticultural charcoal. It's important not to use charcoal briquettes meant for barbecues, as they can contain chemical binders that are harmful to soil life. You are looking for pure lumpwood charcoal that has been broken down into small, manageable pieces, roughly the size of a small pea to a thumbnail. This ensures it integrates well with your existing soil. The next step is to charge the charcoal. Because it is so porous and absorbent, adding it to your garden dry can cause it to temporarily pull moisture and nutrients away from your plants. To avoid this, you must pre-soak it. A simple way to do this is to mix it with your compost. For every 10 liters of compost, add about 1 liter of charcoal. Mix it all together thoroughly. Add a splash of water to make it damp but not soggy, and let it sit for a week or two. This allows the charcoal to absorb water and become colonized by the beneficial microbes already living in your compost. When you are ready to apply it to your garden beds, the process is simple. Aim for an application rate of about 5 to 10% of the total soil volume. For a new bed, this means spreading a layer of your charged charcoal compost mix, about 1 to 2 inches deep, over the surface before digging it into the top 6 to 8 inches of soil. If you are adding it to an existing bed with established plants, you can gently work it into the top few inches of soil around the base of the plants, a process known as top dressing. Be careful not to disturb the roots too much. Once the charcoal is incorporated, give the area a good, thorough watering. This helps to settle the soil and ensures the charcoal is fully integrated into its new environment. The beauty of this method is that it is a permanent improvement. Unlike fertilizers that are used up each season, the physical structure of the charcoal will remain in your soil for hundreds, if not thousands of years, continuously providing a home for microbial life. It's a one-time application that pays dividends for the lifetime of your garden, building a foundation of health from the ground up. For those of you who are just starting your gardening journey, this method is a fantastic way to give your new garden a head start. Poor soil, whether it's heavy clay or free-draining sand, can be disheartening for a beginner. By incorporating charged charcoal right from the outset, you are immediately improving the soil's structure and its ability to hold water and nutrients. This creates a more forgiving environment for young plants, helping them establish strong roots and grow vigorously. It takes the guesswork out of watering and feeding, allowing you to focus on the simple joy of watching your garden come to life. For the more experienced gardeners among us, using charcoal offers an opportunity to take your soil health to the next level. You may already have a wonderful composting system and a good understanding of your garden's needs. Think of charcoal as the missing piece of the puzzle. It acts as a stabilizer, locking in the goodness you have already created. When added to your compost heap, it can help regulate moisture, reduce odors, and create a superior final product. In your beds, it will preserve the nutrient-rich humus you have worked so hard to build, making your soil more resilient year after year. The most important thing is to simply begin. Start with one bed or even a few containers. Get a feel for the material and observe the results for yourself. You will notice the soil becomes darker, richer, and more crumbly. Your plants will be healthier, more robust, and better able to withstand pests and diseases. This isn't a quick fix. It's a long-term investment in the life of your garden. It's a partnership with the billions of unseen organisms that are the true custodians of fertility. By tending to them, we are tending to the health of the entire garden. So I encourage you to try it. Rediscover this simple, powerful secret that our ancestors understood so well. It is a wonderfully satisfying way to connect with the earth and make a real, lasting difference to the patch of ground you care for. Share your experiences with fellow gardeners, spread the word, and become part of a movement that is putting life back into our soil. Let's work together to build healthier gardens and a healthier planet, one handful of charcoal at a time. The revolution starts right under our feet.